All right, guys, so today we're comparing the Metabo HPT compact reciprocating saw with the Skills compact reciprocating saw. Now, one glaring difference is this is a 20 volt and this is an 18 volt, but they're still pretty competitive. So looking at these two, definitely the Skills is quite a bit thicker than the Metabo. From a weight standpoint, again, the Skills is quite a bit heavier than the Metabo. Even if I take the batteries out like this, you're going to see that the Skills is quite a bit heavier than the Metabo. Now, both of these are toolless blade changes, so you just turn it, slide the blade in like that, either direction, and again, same on the Skills. Turn it, turn the right there, and then you can slide the blade in. Turn the blade, or turn the mechanism there, and you can just slide the blade in, and it catches and it locks in place and it won't pull out. Both of them have variable speed triggers here. The Skills has a dual light, whereas the Metabo only has one light here just on top. Skills has a light here and here. Difference in our plate here, this one doesn't have the top on it, which opens it up for a little bit more light, but this one does. The Skills will do up to 3,000 strokes per minute, whereas the Metabo will do up to 3,200 strokes per minute. So a little bit more speed in the Metabo, less weight versus the Skills. As I was saying, there is quite a bit of weight difference. The Skills without the battery is 5 pounds, and it is pretty heavy here, so it's not real balanced. So once you get the battery in, it's a little bit more balanced, but there's a lot more weight up front here. And the Metabo is 3.5 pounds. So so there's a pound and a half difference, and you definitely notice it when you carry the two. They're both really nice, but let's put them to the test and kind of see which one cuts better. All right, so let's do a quick test here. We've got the Metabo, which has got a 2 amp hour battery that is full. And then we've also got the Skills, which has a 2 amp hour battery, though this is a PowerCore 20. So I think it's got a little bit more power, but let's check them out. Let's start with the Metabo here. And we're just going to cut down this and see how well it cuts through. This is just pine, so it is a soft wood, so let's try it out. All right, so that did make it through. A little bit slower than I would have hoped, but it did make it all the way through. Now, if you'd had a 36 volt with a more powerful battery, it probably would have cut through a lot quicker. This is pretty much the lowest battery you can get for these. All right, so again, full 2 amp hour battery, except this is the PowerCore 20. Now, as you can see, that did cut through quite a bit quicker. I don't think I would compare the PowerCore 20 to your standard 2 amp hour battery, 18 volt here. This has quite a bit of power. I would compare it maybe to a 4 amp hour battery. Now, comparing the two, the Skills definitely got through it quite a bit quicker. The one thing I do, again, still like about the Metabo is that I can put a 36 volt battery on here with more power, and it will compete with this, but I just have to go up in size to the battery. But I mean, they're both good choices.